I was kind of hoping somebody would come to the chat and have a conversation outside where it's pretty, no one's around. There's lots of squirrels. They're coming out. They're hungry. That one over there took off. There's two over here though on the sidewalk. My dog is not happy. She's in my lap. She's not happy. I need a stand. Then I could just put my camera down like this.
There's one behind you. Squirrel behind you. You on this side now, he's about to go up.
Kid playing with the squirrel. I'll point the camera sideways. There. Okay, they moved out of the way. Like, oh no, oncoming traffic. There's one over there. There was someone who left some food on the sidewalk. That's what that one's doing, is eating the food on the sidewalk. They're hungry.
That's a little small one. Throw it over there for him.
Yeah. They're hungry and they've been out going up to people.
Oh, yeah.
They left some food over there on the sidewalk. That's why there's a couple of them over there.
Oh, okay. Maybe pull it back up from the Captain, did you throw him some bread? He took it. What are those, sunflower seeds? Look like sunflower.
Wish the ducks were out. I love watching the ducks. I could go down to the pier. Just watch the ducks. I guess it's kind of warm outside for them. They're usually out. I think there's one over there. I don't know if you can see it. But way over there by the picnic table. There's a tree by the table, and then there's two trees, and there's a white spot in between them. I think that's a duck. I hear something in the tree. I would feed them, but all I have is some beef sticks for my dog. I don't know if squirrels are omnivores. I never even looked. I don't think the squirrels eat meat. They eat nuts and things like they'll eat bread and crackers. Fruit, like raisins. Ooh, raisins sound good. And some raisins. They're just all over the place. Hi, how are you? There's some squirrels out, but I don't have the camera on them because there's people over there. I didn't know if they would appreciate being on camera. Ooh, look. Ooh, our crane. Oh, it went behind the tree. There it goes. That's a crane. I just came to the park one day and there was another bird other than ducks. And I've just been kind of in awe of it for a couple of months. Yeah, I understand. That's why I'm at the park. I have anxiety too. I either play games or I try to come to the park. I used to go to Six Flags. Yeah. I'm kind of lucky. They've opened some stuff up here. And the bathrooms aren't closed at the park. The park was never closed, but the bathrooms were locked. And the bathrooms aren't locked anymore. And more people show up at the park. But it was one of the only places that you could go outside and really relax. And people were kind of in their own, doing their own thing. It wasn't crowded. I usually play Pokemon Go because there's a gym. Is it called a gym? There's a Battle Dome gym here. Okay, they stepped away from the scroll. Oh, you're in Asia? That's interesting. Is it still pretty bad there? There's the scroll. I'm in America. I'm in Texas. And yeah. a lot of there's certain places like California and New York, places that are more populated and closed, populated, and they have more restrictions. And the governor of Texas decided to let businesses open with some guidelines, and um, grocery stores open an hour early for people that are elderly or sick so that they're not around a lot of people. And some of our stores have X's on them or lines so that you have to stand in line. You have to stay a certain distance away from each other. Well, I don't watch the news because it triggers me a lot. So I have no idea how bad it is somewhere else or what's going on. I just know that it hit Asia really hard at the beginning. Oh, wow. I'm sorry to hear that. 44 degrees. Yeah. I hate wearing masks too. It's weird because you would think that it would be better, but I can't breathe like the it's hot air that you're breathing in and out. So I feel like I can't breathe. So oop, it took off. Where'd it go? My dog's panicking. See my dog? My dog's panicking. She's like, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? She's staring them down there. There it is. It went behind the tree, I guess. There's two. There's one over by the bench. Wow. They'd never come out like this. Oh no. Black plague. It's okay. It's okay. I understand. Look at the birds. Where'd they go? I understood what you said, so it's okay. The temperature, I think it's in the high 80s. When I looked earlier, it was 88 degrees, and there's like a slight breeze, and you can see how pretty it is outside. But this is very, very uncommon for July. We usually have 100-degree heat, and it's so hot you feel like you're melting when you go outside. So this is gorgeous weather. Makes me wonder if we're gonna get a storm. Did I take advantage of being able? Oh, sorry. Fahrenheit. It's warm and sunny. It's fine. I'm sorry. I have a friend who's Canadian and I have to say Fahrenheit. I just forget.
Well, what the heck is that? That ain't no duck. Something else. Eddie, did you see that huge thing? That ain't no duck. That looks like peanut.
Mommy ants. Ants. Are you on Instagram? Don't hate being Asian. Just, I guess, try to point out the good things about yourself. I don't know how to. It's hard. I've my dog is all. Oh, okay. That's what you mean. Okay. Ugh, it's so hard. Yeah. Because that's something that you don't want to rush and make a mistake. So it's hard. It, I don't understand that part because here it's opposite. People telling you you're too young to get married and you shouldn't be in such a committed relationship and they'll sabotage your relationship to break you up. And parents want to keep you home like you're a little kid and they don't want you to leave them. And it's opposite here. So I understand on the point of even having a relationship and everybody questioning you and interfering. Where did it go? I saw it. There it is. Wow, it's coming up to me. I don't have any food, little baby. I don't have any food. But look, you're a Twitch star. All I have is some beef sticks for my doggy. Hey, baby. Hi. I don't have any food, sweetheart. Gonna go over there. Go look for some food over there. When I get ready to leave, my ride can bring some pecans for you. It's a squirrel. He's hungry, and I don't have any food. He eats nuts and fruit and stuff, and all I have is beef sticks for my dog. And I don't think squirrels eat meat. They're You've never seen a squirrel before? Oh my goodness, they're adorable, but you can't get too close to them because they can attack you. But if they come up to you, then you just, I guess, talk to them a little bit, but don't go at them. No, 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 don't apologize for not knowing. That's because of where you live. But at least you get to see one up close. I had no idea they didn't have them everywhere. That's something I learned. They live in the trees. Okay, do you know the old Disney cartoons? The Chip and Dale, the Mickey Mouse. It was, I think Pluto was the one that liked to chase Chip and Dale. They're kind of like that. They're not chipmunks. They're squirrels, but they're kind of the same thing. They live in the trees and they gather nuts, and my dog hates them because they chatter. It sounds like they're laughing. Okay. Do you get on YouTube? They might have them on YouTube that you can see. I'm not sure what is locked. Just anime. Okay. I've seen anime, but my anime is Italia. I and Pokemon. I love Pokemon, but I haven't seen it enough to know if there's any characters that I could compare them to. Okay. You like games? They're pretty cool. Jacksepticeye is so funny. He's just so all over the place. Hyper. You're not a gamer, but you go and watch them play games. Do you just like to watch them play? You don't play them yourself? Yeah. I get it. I suck at those games. I play Sims 4. I play it on here too. But I'm not good at action games. So I've watched um, PewDiePie, Jacksepticeye, and Markiplier. And Markiplier used to play a lot of Five Nights at Freddy's. And I tried it. Actually, I think there's a clip of me playing it on here. I uploaded it to my account. And it freaked me out. I have too much anxiety to play a jump scare game. I'll stick to my Sims. But I loved watching Markiplier play it. I loved it. Yeah, please do. I scream a lot. But I scream a lot in it because I would push a button and it would make the camera flip up, and I don't know how I did it. I still don't. And I would scare myself. I was panicking. Like I didn't know that's what was happening. That's before it actually just became a known thing. And I was actually having a panic attack. But it's also kind of funny. I was, I think I even said in the video that I was sweating, and I think as my heart was beating really fast, and I was shaking. But I'd rather play a game and do that than when it just happens anyway. Oh wow. I can't believe how many squirrels are out today. On PC or on VR. I played it on the PC. Like it became after it was an old game, it was free. So I downloaded it and played it. And I think when I played it, what made it even more intense was it was Halloween. So that made it even more intense and more scary for me. It was my daughter's idea. You want to see my dog? Let me see if I can get her on camera. Sandy. Sandy. She's staring at the squirrels. Sandy. Oh, there's one over there. She sees it. Hey, Sandy. Say hi. My dog is, she thinks squirrels are the enemy. When I said earlier, I asked if you were on Instagram. My dog is on Instagram. And she intensely, let's see if I can pull back. She intensely stares them down. Oh, she's gonna adjust. It's super sandy, underscore ESA. She's an emotional support animal. I can't type it, I don't think. No. I don't think I can type while I'm on the app. So, Super Sandy, it's just one word, and then an underscore ESA. Oh, they're playing. They're chasing each other. There it is. I was trying to figure out where it went. Thank you. She's perking up. Oh, it went up the tree. Yeah, they're going up the tree, I think. Nope, he's bouncing over to the other tree. Nope. If you want me to follow you, if you can find my Instagram, if you want me to follow you, just leave a comment under one of the pictures and I'll click on it and follow you. So that way I know that it's you. Because I put her as the account, so everybody I follow is. I'm sorry. It's hard. Yay, duckies! The ducks came out. Finally. Well, here there's pet cemeteries, but you have to pay for it. So we've always just buried our pets in the yard. I know from hearing things that if you call the city to come pick them up, they just throw them in a dumpster. And at least I know. Really? That's sad. Because your animals become like your children. I'm sorry. I had a dog for 16 years. Her name was Angel. She was like a a little miniature German Shepherd. And I had a dog named Lucky, and she was a white Samoyed Husky. It was a little fluffy dog, like a sled dog. I had her for 14 years. And she was my first pet, my first dog, not my first cat. I've had more cats than you can imagine. But Lucky passed away because I went into the hospital and they moved to a place that the guy didn't want her there. So they had to give her to my grandmother, and she got depressed from being separated from me. And she wouldn't eat and moped around and stuff, and she died. And then my chihuahua, I had a little chihuahua named Pooh Bear. And he was golden. And he was my little boy. And he was my best friend. I don't understand not being emotionally attached to a pet when they do so much for you. My dog is Sandy. I got Sandy after Pooh Bear died. And she's my emotional support animal. Because if I go somewhere and I'm in a crowd of people and I feel too closed in, which is why I'm at the park, I have panic attacks and almost pass out. And so she goes with me everywhere. I have papers and an ID badge, and she gets to go everywhere with me. I don't know what I would do without her. I have a black cat named Snowball, but she lives with my daughter because I couldn't take her where I'm at. I miss her. She's a black cat. My daughter named her Snowball after The Simpsons. And I'm so sorry to hear that. It's so sad. And we get attached to our pets. Aww. Aww. I'm sorry. The little black kitten with the little white paws sound cute. My daughter has a tuxedo cat named Gizmo. He's black and white. He's very attached to her. He's a bully. Oh no. Did it hurt your kitten? Yeah. I don't blame you. It's not necessary. He could have been upset. He could have hated her. But he didn't have to be violent towards her. A living thing. It's just feelings. Okay. My dog's licking me. I don't know if that means she's down. Oh my goodness. Oh. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you had to see that too. My dog's freaking out. There's some kind of bug in the trees making some kind of noise, so it stopped. um, it's good that you had somewhere to go. And you could leave. I know that had to be really traumatizing. Wow, that's great. Cats are amazing. Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's up in the tree over here. And my dog hears it and she's like bouncing her head around like, what's that noise? Ooh, I think it's a crow. Hello, black crow. Yeah, are you able to do that? You said that you work for... Do you have a good job? Things are so crazy right now, though. Some ducks. Okay. I hope everything works out for you. It's hard to say anything because I would say don't let them pressure you and do what you need to do for yourself and get things in order on your own, time, like doing things one thing at a time. But that's your culture there. That's how, everybody does things. And that would make you rebellious, and that doesn't go well with a culture. So, my heart goes out to you. It has to be hard. Oh, wow. Do you see that? That squirrel's hanging on the tree. Oh my goodness. I thought I heard some rustling noises. Where did it go? There it is. It went down the tree. That was awesome. Oh, it disappeared. There you went. Oh, somebody has a dog. Oh, it's just roaming around. Where did it come from? There's no people over here. Where did it come from? Oh, it's so pretty. Oh, it's so cute. My dog wouldn't like it very much for me to like give it a beef stick. I don't know if it's homeless. Somebody might have dropped it off in the park. Because there's nobody here. It couldn't have come from anywhere. Oh, there's some people over there. Okay. Good. Yeah. It, but when it's cold, it gets cold. Not like it does everywhere else. Like a lot of people that I know have like snow. We never get snow. It and when it gets cold, it's icy, which is dangerous. But we have more warm weather more than we. Yeah, we can go outside. We're just asked to be respectful, to not be in a crowd of people, and all of our things like church and concerts and gatherings of any kind are canceled. And you can have like meetings, but they're like online on um, video call, to have a group call. And a lot of people, they don't socialize, but they go and they visit their relatives. And I think in California, you're not even allowed to do that. I've seen some videos where they were making fun of driving by someone's house and honking the horn and screaming happy birthday, because they couldn't go knock on the door and visit them. And it's not as bad in Texas. That's in California mostly. Um, yeah. That's how it actually, California, back in March, California was restricted to only going every 3 days. And you could only be in the store for a certain amount of time. Here, the restriction, a lot of the stores were open if they were necessary, but they would only allow a certain capacity, a certain amount of people in the store at the same time. So you would have to wait in line outside, and you could only go in when people came out. And I was at Starbucks, which is a coffee shop, and I had to wait in line. And well, actually, it wasn't Starbucks, it was Bed Bath & Beyond. I had to get some shower gel some bath gel, and they wouldn't allow people to go in until someone came out. They had someone at the door. I was kind of wondering about that. What is the purpose of putting people in jail when you're supposed to be keeping people away from each other? I don't understand that. Because when you put people in jail, there's not just one person per jail cell, and they don't scrub it down after each person is in there. So if you're in jail with, 2 or 3 other people, that person that you're in the cell with could be sick. But they're punishing you because you go outside. And you're not having direct contact with people. That's what I don't... I can't wrap my head around it. Wouldn't they be better off putting a bracelet, an ankle bracelet around you so that you can't leave your home? That would probably be the smart thing to do. Some people here, when they get in trouble with the law, they put them on house arrest, and they have a bracelet on their leg. It has an alarm, and it goes off if they step outside the boundaries, and they can be arrested. So I think that that's true. That's not where you want to be right now, but yeah, I've thought about that too. The people in jail here, or in prison actually, people in prison here, they get a free education, and they get free therapy and see a psychiatrist, and they get a gym and 3 meals a day, and they don't pay bills. I've thought about that. And sometimes it might not even be as dangerous as living here and being poor. Because we have places here, you're poor, it's a very dangerous neighborhood. Yeah. I know. Americans are spoiled brats. You said you hate being Asian. I hate being American. I hate how they spoil people, and then people scream rights, and so they have to accommodate them in those ways. And I think if you do something wrong to be there, the person that you victimized and things that you did, they deserve to have things easier on them. Not you go to prison for robbing a store with a gun, and you get a free education and get to redeem yourself. I think the person that owns the store that you robbed should have therapy for going through the trauma, and they should have some kind of help, because it's a traumatizing experience. I think that people here are so entitled. They're so self-entitled that they don't appreciate things. And they don't appreciate the freedoms they have and the things that we have for our lives, to make it easier, make it better. And there's more people that take advantage of it, and mess with it than there are that appreciate it. And then what's aggravating is when Independence Day comes along and you see all these people that are disrespectful and vile to the country and the laws and other people, and they're celebrating and acting like they understand the true meaning of what having freedom is. I understand why other countries think that United States of America has a problem. But to defend them too, we have a lot of people here that have mental illnesses and they have a lot of anxiety and they're abused. A lot of abuse going on here. And they don't help us. And then you have to have the only way that you can live is to be able to do something. But sometimes you can't because it's physical or mentally. There's people that can't hold a job because they can't mentally function well, and they don't help you, and it's hard. But I also know somebody that's mentally ill. He's schizophrenic, and the only way they would help him is if he was on medication and he refused to take medication. So he ended up living under a bridge. But he's mentally ill. He he's hateful and he doesn't get along with people and he snaps. Sandy. I gotta itch my leg. You can't jump down after the ducks. Well, I just don't know how bad it is in other places and other cultures and countries. But what I do know is that families take care of each other. And here, a lot of families are abusive. And, like, I know someone who didn't follow being in a box of what their father wanted them to be, and they kicked them out when they were 14, and they had to deal with bouncing from one couch to the other from friends letting them stay with them for a little bit. He got through school, but he wasn't able to really just be a kid, be a teenager. And I had the opposite problem. My mother is hovering. So socializing and being a teenager. Oh, okay. Yeah. The people there they're still dying, because here it's just positive results are going up. Like an outbreak of the actual COVID-19 virus, but no, the people passing away has went down because they're able to test it and catch it. The people there are still dying. Okay. Well, you're young. You'll, once you're able to, you know, work and meet people, now that this is kind of over and they open things back up a lot again, you'll be able to it has to get better. It it's not going to last forever, but I know about the Spanish flu and what it did back in the early 1900s. And the problem is that when it started to, go away, they brought in people and had a parade and, were celebrating at, they opened things back up and did everything. And then there was another outbreak, and it took 2 years for it to stop. It mutated itself. It just feels like forever. Okay. Been on here for an hour. Ducks. Oh. Walking on my front. I don't know what you mean by that. There's people over there. I was trying to avoid getting them on camera. There's my doggy. She's moping. Sandy. She's watching the ducks. I figured that. You were laughing. And I didn't get it really, but I knew you thought it was funny. Oh, they got a radio. Um, English is the main language, but there's a lot of different people here, and there's like all kinds of languages. In school, you can learn Spanish or French as a second language. And I took French in school, and I homeschooled my nephew, and I taught him Spanish. But I'm old, and all I remember is Bonjour, je m'appelle Michel, et vous? My daughter took French for homeschool, but it was like we didn't have anybody to have conversations with, so you couldn't really, um, learn to speak it right. You have four? Yeah. I do know there's, um, and my memory is horrible. Okay, this may sound funny, but I think of Wayne's World and his girlfriend and the language that she spoke, and he learned to speak it. I don't. Pourquoi? Pourquoi? I watched my nephew knew Chinese. Oh, dang it! I can't remember. I used to help him. Abuela. Yeah, that's Spanish. Arriba. Yeah, that's Spanish. My nephew used to watch Kailan. Ni hao. I know ni hao. And I used to know Chinese from it. And but it's basic little words. And Cantonese, that's what it was that on that movie that girl spoke Cantonese. I was gonna say something else and then I forgot. Okay. In French, hello is bonjour. So, I always make a joke about being Texan and going, bonjour, y'all. Because I think it's funny. Bonjour, je m'appelle. Je m'appelle means my name. Je m'appelle Michel. Et vous means and you, meaning you're asking the person what their name is. So, bonjour, je m'appelle Michel, et vous? That's all I remember. Because I had to stand up in class and introduce myself. Oh, that's what I was going to say. My nephew used to take Taekwondo. So I used to have to help him learn Korean. And he would count to 10 in Korean. And I used to make jokes about him being multilingual. And my daughter would say, yeah, he's fluent in gibberish. Baguette or spaghetti. That's Italian. By the way, I'm like old enough to be your mom. Sandy. Let those squirrels go in? There's no squirrels to stare at now. Yep, you hear kid, don't you? There's still ducks over there, I think. I know someone Korean, but, he's American, so he doesn't really have an accent, but I'm sure, his mom does, but I never got to meet her. Hi! Yeah, I have a daughter, and she's 25. So I don't know how close you are to her age, but that's why I said I'm old enough to be your mom. Because if you're in your your early 20s. Markiplier is, yeah, his mom is Korean. I've seen a video of him with his mom. I didn't pay attention to her accent, though. I think his mom is Korean and his dad is German. You're 25? Awesome. So I'm 20 years older than you. It's so nice outside. Yeah. Well, Markiplier grew up in Ohio. So, but he doesn't have a southern accent like me. No, I don't speak with a heavy accent all the time. It just comes out. I homeschooled my daughter, so I had to teach her proper English. And it just kind of stuck with me not to word like my grammar, like the way I speak a sentence. And I'm not perfect at it. And I can get feisty and I forget all of it. It goes like straight out of my head. And then I'm using the little twang words. And I don't think I have a heavy accent compared to a lot of people. But then when I meet people, and I talk to them on the phone. They're like, "Yep, you're Texan." I had a friend that was in Hong Kong back, um, probably 2000. Well, yeah, it was 2000, 2001. My daughter got on Neopets. Yes, Chainsaw Massacre was real. It really happened. Not the way in the movie. You know, that's a scary movie. They did that for dramatics. But the actual storyline, yeah. We've had serial killers here that do things like that. I've never seen the movie. I just know of the stories, and because that did happen in Texas. And but the person, Facebook is not a thing. We were on Neopets. Do you know what Neopets is? Because you're my daughter's age. It came out and kind of became a thing when you should have been about 5 to 7 years old. And he was my friend on there. And, you know, there's like an opposite time schedule. So when he was, after he was a kid, he was like a preteen. And he would like get ready for bed, and he would get on his computer and we would play checkers. He was my game buddy. But I remember, the reason why I remember Nintendo. Yeah. Nintendo got popular here when I was about 12. Tamagotchis, I couldn't keep them alive. But I played a lot of Super Mario Brothers. Not everybody plays the PlayStation and Xbox. But I grew up on the Nintendo. I grew up on the Atari. And when I was really little, my brothers had an Atari. And then when I was 12, my dad bought me a Nintendo for Christmas. And so, like, being a teenager and, you know, older, I had a Nintendo and a Super Nintendo, and I think there was a Nintendo 64. I didn't play it very much. And then a Game Boy. You know, it was a handheld. I had a Game Boy, and I have a Nintendo 3DS, a Nintendo DS, and then a Nintendo 3DS. What is the... Oh, we had a GameCube. My daughter had a GameCube. A Nintendo GameCube. And, yeah, that's the problem here, is that they switch out consoles so rapidly. About the time that you start to build up on games and get used to something, they switch it. And so I never had the Nintendo after the GameCube. What was it? Because we got an Xbox. can't remember what it was called, but they started making them where you could take the discs from the previous game console and use them on the new one, and I like that because you don't waste your money spending and getting all these games and practicing them and getting good at them and then have to turn around and give them up. Bounce. What's bounce? Nokia games. Okay. Oh, okay. You probably are talking about Pong. Maybe that. There's a game where you slide the thing on the bottom and bounce it up and hit the bricks. And then there's Pong, which is like table tennis, like ping pong, but it slides, so it goes back. Those are the old Nokia games. Yeah, when I had a PlayStation, I had the old games from the 80s, the Activision games from the Atari. I was good at those because I was little when I played them. I'm not good at action games. And or things that go too fast because of my eyes. And so my favorite game on my Activision collection game was the one where you're in a boat and you have to fish. I love that game. Don't ask me why. And then there was one with the little people on horses. I think you had to like there's Pitfall. I remember that game. That's so funny thinking about all of that. I love thinking about it. The games now confuse me. Yeah. It's kind of understandable, but there's a medium between the two. Like you get good grades, you get games. So, I know that's hard. It's hard being the kid. Being the parent is kind of like you do your homework, you go to school, you do good, and then you can have your games and you can play your games after your schoolwork's done. And you just put limits to things, but you don't say no because that keeps a kid from being a kid. And sometimes I'm 45 and I play games to kind of get my mind off of things. I like to play Sims because I can concentrate on taking care of them and getting them to do things. And I don't have to think about, all the stuff that goes through my head that overwhelms me. So it just gives me a break. But I do understand that while you're a certain age and you actually have things that are goals and, your future, you need to work towards them. And what's really sad is my nephew he's 14 years old, and when you ask him about, you know, going to school and going to college and, what is he going to do for a living to make money, and wanting him to think about in a few years when he's done with regular school. My nephew thinks he can be a professional gamer, and you can't get it through to him. He's stubborn as hell. You can't get it through to him that those things are just things that happen to those people. PewDiePie and Markiplier, I know for a fact, went to college and have degrees. And so, if the gaming thing didn't work out, they have an education to fall back on. Wow. That's hard. Because, you have to learn those things before you can. I, I have an opinion, and I have a heavy opinion. He might have dropped out of college, but he has some kind of an education. I think it was something in art. And Markiplier has a architectural degree. I homeschooled my daughter. It got so bad she was harassed at school, and it got so bad she would cry and not want to go to school, and she was having a lot of anxiety, and she would panic. And what made me, it ticked me off, because I volunteered up at the school, and she was having a panic attack because school, the bell rang and school was starting, and she didn't, she was crying, and I was trying to calm her down to make her go to class, and I was just soothing her and calming her down. I wasn't doing anything to make her think that I was going to take her home or anything. She needed to go to school. She needed to go to class. She was going to be late because she was crying and having a panic attack. But she was there at school. We were in, right where you walk into the building, because I was leaving. And the principal came over and chewed me out and told me to leave, or she was going to have someone escort me out. And I got ticked. And so I'm like, come on, let's go. And I went home and I started researching everything. And I joined a legal coalition thing for me to have a lawyer. And I joined a homeschool group. And I asked a lot of questions. And I bought some stuff on eBay, some homeschooling stuff on eBay. And I had her go to school until the last week of school. She got her yearbook. And people signed it. Her friends signed it. And I pulled her out of school and homeschooled her. I homeschooled her for junior high and high school, for 6th through 12th grade. And so I have my opinion, and the way that she was not doing well at all, because she struggled with math. And when I homeschooled her, I was able to pay one-on-one attention to her, and I got through 5 years of math in a year and a half, because I was able to tutor her and be right next to her side. And then I took my nephew in. He was 3 years old. I took him in, and when he was jealous because my daughter got to do school and be in a homeschool group. And when he was 5 and he was old enough for school, I started homeschooling him, and I taught him how to read and write. And like I said, I taught him Spanish, taught him math, and my daughter was able to help him because she was, when by the time he was 8, she was 18 because she's 10 years older than him. Yeah, she wasn't good in math, so she didn't do the extreme math. She did pre-algebra, and she did what you said, statistics. I think it was checkbook, like learning how to do income and spending and taxes and balance a checkbook, that kind of math. And I think geography. She was good at history. We learned a lot about history. Look at the duckies. Hi, duckies. Hi. Duckies. No, Sandy, you can't go after them. Look, I got her by the harness. Well, she wasn't great at math, so I did the math that she needed, that was required by law, but not more. I had more choices than just math, like basic math and pre-algebra and algebra 1, algebra 2. I had geography and the one that geometry. Oh my gosh. Sorry. We did geography too. She was good at social studies and history. It just crows following them. Take me to your leader. Oh no, he's coming over here to me. Sandy, look at the bird. You see it? Oh, you're too busy staring the ducks down. You see the bird? They're over there. They're getting fed. They're gathered over there. I homeschooled my daughter and my nephew, so I have an opinion about school. Yeah. Now she sees is that a squirrel or a bird? This is a bird. She sees a bird. I can always tell there's a squirrel. That's what she sees. I can always tell where there's a duck or a squirrel because I can just follow her face. She's staring them down. Well, now's when I need some bread and crackers and pecans. Oh, look at this squirrel. He's coming over here. Okay, I'm going to be on here maybe another 25 minutes. Yeah, I understand that. It's sad, isn't it? I guess maybe that's why your dad wants you to make really good grades. He's concerned about you having options and being able to do something. I know there is, you know, you do it to a point, but be glad that your dad wants you to have the best options and best ability to be able to do something, because there's a lot of people that don't. I was sabotaged and I wanted to go to college, and like I said, I have a mentally ill brother, and he did some things because he was jealous. And my mom didn't put her foot down and parent us correctly, and make a border, make lines. And I homeschooled my daughter so that she didn't have to put up with high school and being bullied and stuff, and she doesn't appreciate it. And she got a really good education out of it. And she learned a lot. And she had a lot of experiences, since we went on field trips and we got to go on vacations. And when everybody else was stuck in a school building, when it was pretty outside like it is today, she was at the zoo talking to zookeepers and learning about the animals. Or she was at the science museum. When it was pretty outside, we used to go places. And we used to go to indoor places if it was cold or rainy. And we would go outside if it was a beautiful sunny day like it is today. And I did a lot. I made sure she learned from everything around her, and was socialized in groups. And my nephew was in taekwondo and bowling. My daughter was a Girl Scout and in homeschool group. They were both in homeschool group. And you got to be grateful if your parent wants more for you. They want better for you. But I understand completely how, when they're harsh on you and make you feel like it's not enough, I know how that gets to you. So, I'm sorry. My heart goes out to you. They came back. Are they teasing my dog? They're teasing my dog. No, they're going back to the lake. I've been enjoying talking to you. Thank you so much. I get on here around this time when I'm able to talk, and I don't like for things to be hectic or crazy, and I don't like other people to be around that can hear me. Oh, they're going over there to the lady at the table. Get food. Yeah, my phone battery is going down. I looked at it. So I would like to be able to just stay on here and talk to you, but I'm I don't have a phone charger here, so it, follow me and come back. So I like talking to you. It was nice to have someone on here to have an actual conversation. It doesn't happen very often. Oh, there's my ride.
Lunch.
Okay, I gotta go. Oh. I'll talk to you later, okay?
I didn't bring sandwiches. Forgot to.
Bye. Oh, they said hello.
Hello.